Unleash your creativity at Nova Employment Focus on Ability Short Film Festival with over $100,000 in prizes, including a new car and exclusive film industry experiences. It's your time to shine. Grab your camera and join the celebration of talent and inclusivity. Creating a film has never been easier, and the opportunities to triumph are endless. Simply make a short film or doco highlighting the ability of people with disability. Then head to focusonability.com.au.
Welcome to Meet the Biz. We have got, I have to say today we have, it's a special day because we have an organization here, a film festival that is incredible. It means a lot to me because right before the pandemic, Meet the Biz and myself, and also John Paces at Performing Arts Studio West, was honored with an award from this amazing festival, Focus on Ability. To me, it's one of my favorite film festivals because it brings people together. And as you know, Meet the Biz is all about that, bringing people together. I love how when Dickie Hart's when he joined us, he is bringing people together, bringing the deaf community and the hearing community. So Focus on Ability is this amazing group. We started, in fact, by going to that right before the pandemic, it had inspired me to start up the Meet the Biz interviews, which we've been doing Meet the Biz officially since 2008. And now from that, online interviews, we have over 400 interviews. We've done over, classes, Q&As. And today we have the creator as well as the 2024 winners of the Focus on Ability. Now, I am going to first introduce, because I am going to step back for today and just enjoy these amazing artists that we have today. And today we have the host, the wonderful host and our family member here, the wonderful Diana Elizabeth Jordan.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Kelly.
Diana, I'm so thankful for you to be here today, and I love when we do our co-hosting or you do the hosting. It's all about, like we said, family here.
Yep, I totally agree. So happy to be here and just looking forward to having these incredible artists share what motivated them to create these films. I've seen all of them and they're amazing, and we really don't have time to see them today. However, we will make sure we get links because these films are amazing.
I love it. Well, I'm going to back out. I'm going to be watching, but we'll bring on the everybody coming on. So thank you, Diana.
Yes, let's bring everybody on.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we have Henry. Hello, Henry. How are you? Henry and Stewart. Hello, Stewart. Welcome. And Kylie, you're here with Romeo to support Romeo. Hello. Wait. Hi, Romeo. So nice to meet you.
Hi.
I love, guys, I love all your films.
Thank you.
All right.
We should have Ashley. Hey, hello, Jessica. The dear friends, and I'm giving you a big hug, right?
I love Jessica.
How can you not love Jessica? There's everything to love about her. So, hi, Ashley. Welcome. We have Riley, Ashley. Do we have Noah here? Or Abel?
I don't see them here.
Okay. Well, then we'll just get started with what we have. So, anyway, guys, I want to say personally how much I loved each of your films and how beautiful they were, how emotionally moving they were. And when I was looking at all your bios, it would probably take me a half hour to read all your bios, but you only have an hour. But what I would love to do is you could introduce yourself and share a little bit about your film and just about let's start with you so you can share about focus on abilities. And then each of you would just share a little bit about yourself and your film, and then we can go take it from there. So Jessica, if you could just share a little bit about yourself and Focus on Abilities. This is an incredible organization. Why don't we start with you? And also, let me do a brief visual description. I'm an African-American woman wearing a blue floral dress, and I'm in my office at Performing Arts Studio West. If you could also give a brief visual description, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Diana. I am a white woman. I'm wearing a black outfit, and I am from Australia, as you can very, very clearly hear in that tone, for all the Americans in the room. I am also the International Marketing and Entertainment Coordinator for Focus on Ability Short Film Festival, a festival near and dear to my heart that I have been working for now. I want to say close to about 12 years, which is a very long time and a very big chapter in my life. Bit of background about me. I was born to two very famous actors in Australia. Some of the people may know my mother, who is also the ambassador of the organization, Paula Duncan. My mother is an actress first and foremost, but she is also a huge advocate for people with disabilities and has been her entire life. I think since the age of 5 or 6, I was working within disability organizations and being part of initiatives that she was leading for fundraising and spreading awareness. She's been nominated for an Order of Australia from the Queen from the work that she does, and she's definitely been an inspiration to me. And when I came across Focus on Ability, when she came across Focus on Ability, because she was actually the one that brought me in the organization, it was the best thing of my life because it married two things that I was very passionate about, which was filmmaking and storytelling, and obviously, breaking down barriers that support people with disabilities across multiple different industries. And that's really the heart of what this festival does. Through storytelling, through films, we're able to sort of shine a light on inclusion and diversity, and specifically breaking down the barriers that, prohibit people from working at their biggest capacity, whether that be in front of the camera, behind the camera, in different industry sectors. This is we change perspectives, we change hearts and minds, because we get to kind of tell each of our stories and show what we do and who we are as people. Being a child of public figures, I grew up with a lot of mental health. It's a very different world when your private life is on the front cover of magazines. So I struggled with depression, anxiety, quite heavily when I was younger. And so, being able to be a part of something that also, incorporates awareness regarding these issues, especially with artists and creatives, as we all know, that's kind of a big thing that brings us together, right? Artists and creatives have this feel like we want to be seen, we want to be heard, and we want people to hear our journeys. And so again, being a part of this festival has touched my heart. And since I've joined, I help create mentorships and prizes for all of the winners that you see before you. That's part of my big initiative. And also creating pathways to employment, opening up opportunities for international winners to travel to overseas locations. This is kind of the nuts and bolts of me. I will pass it on to the winners because they're the highlight of this one.
Why don't we start with you, Ashley? Say a little bit about yourself and then your award and the name of your film. Hi, Ashley.
Me.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So,
Okay. So, hi, I'm Ashley. I won the Best School Actor Award, and my film is Me and My ADHD. It focuses on my ADHD, and that's about it.
Thank you, Ashley. Let's go to you, Riley.
Hi, everyone. I'm assuming that technology is working. You can all hear me.
Yeah.
But I'm Riley. I made a short documentary about brain cancer called Dad. It follows three children as they narrate their very intimate observations of their father's stage 4 brain cancer diagnosis. And I was honored with winning Best Documentary at the Focus on Ability Film Festival. So that's that.
Henry. Oh, Henry, we can't. Henry, we can't hear you. Yeah, Henry, I'm sorry we can't hear you.
I'm wondering if it's the microphone that's plugged in, the headphone. Sometimes when that's plugged in, it mutes the somehow.
Right, Henry, can you unplug your microphone? Do you have a microphone plugged in?
Not sure.
This is a wireless microphone.
Oh no!
Oh, it works.
Yeah,
Oh,
now
okay.
we got So
Okay.
Henry, tell us a little bit about yourself and your awards you won, and all the wonderful things, and the name of your amazing film, which I loved. I loved all your films.
Thank you very much. My name is Henry Ngandwe. I'm a Zambian filmmaker. Yeah, I won an award on Focus on Ability Film Festival, and I did a short documentary about Ian Banda. So I was focusing on the life of Ian Banda, and this is a person who suffers from muscular dystrophy, and yeah, that's what I did. I'm also a transmission controller at ZNBC. This is our national broadcaster in Zambia, and yeah, basically that's what I do. I'm a filmmaker, and I also work for TAFE.
Wait, all right, Romeo, we're good. Is it pronounced Romeo? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Romeo.
So my name's Romeo. I'm from Positive Helpful Parents. Our film won. We won the Open Award section for our film. Compare the Parents, and we made the film to show discrimination against parents, the difference between a parent without a disability and a parent with a disability. So there's discrimination against the parent.
Again, you're probably gonna hear me say this a lot, and you're probably gonna say, "Oh, she just said this," but it's true. All these films are like so amazing, and I say that with my heart. So if you're all like, "Oh, my film was amazing, my film was amazing," you guys, all your films were so amazing. And Stewart, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself too, please?
Oh, thank you. I was in a film called I Another Day. It was effectively I was a supporting character. The film was about kind of a blind female version of James Bond, and I played the character of Q, and somehow I won the Best Actor award.
Okay, so again, guys, incredible films. I'm going to ask some general questions and questions of each of you. So my general question for everyone is, I think we all have a moment where we go, "Oh, this is what I want to do." That what inspired you? And again, guys, the questions are guidelines that I kind of go off on my own. So, but what was that moment for each of you where you're like, yeah, I want to make films, or I want to do the storytelling? And so, was there a moment that each of you had, or to be an actor where you knew this is the path you wanted to go on? And let's start with you, Stewart.
Oh, me. Wow. Okay. Um, I think the moment for me was about 6 years ago. I was on a kind of a leadership, self-development kind of camp exercise, and we were all asked to perform in a talent show. And I decided at the time to do a live reading of a Edgar Allan Poe poem, and I ended up with a standing ovation. And beforehand, I had no interest in any kind of performing arts, so that was a big moment for me, realizing that I this is something I really enjoy.
Great. And Henry, how about you? And you also formed your own film production company and organization. So share a little bit about that as well, Henry.
Okay, so with me, I think I knew this when I was still young, but you would have to excuse my English. Sometimes there are words which I don't know very
You're
well.
fine. It's perfect. Don't worry.
Yes, yes. So from my childhood, I always found myself watching, those big tapes, cassettes, and when I'm watching a movie, I'll get in such a way that my mom will be behind me and calling my name like loudly, but I wouldn't hear her, and I'll just hear what is on the TV until I'm like shaking, hey, I'm calling you. So it all started from that. And I knew that I wanted to do this because I was so interested in that. The big question for me was how, because I had I had no answer for that. And yeah, thank God I'm here. I can do one or two things, and I'm still learning, and I'm also trying to improve on what I found in my country. So I knew from way back, but when it comes to class, there was that moment where everyone would be asked, what do you want to become when you grow up? I knew what I wanted to become, but my answer was a director. I want to become a director. I didn't completely understand what type of a director, film director. And I remember one moment I shared this with someone and they laughed at me. After that, I just kind of like put it away and I could lie. Each time I'm asked, what do you want to become when you grow up? I would say an accountant because I'm good at math. And yeah, yeah. I think I'll leave it there for now.
How about you, Ashley? Ashley, I know you're still young, but that's fun to say what you want to be when you grow up, but you're so wonderful actress. So, what was that moment for you as a younger girl when you knew that, when you discovered that love? Do you remember?
Could you repeat that?
Yes. When you knew that you wanted to act, do you remember that moment? Well,
Um, well, I never really wanted to act. I
mhm.
just, when we were making the film, I didn't want anyone else to act the part of the role. I wanted to do it myself because it represents me. So that's why I chose to act in it. But a moment um that I decided that I wanted to pursue a career in filmmaking was just taking a class at school about film. And I was really inspired to do that.
Wait, how about you, Romeo? You,
So we, as a parenting group, we had an idea to make the film. we got the help from GFFH, so Child Protection, to help with the film. And so, yeah, it was part of the project that we had just finished.
And it's such a beautiful film, and I'm gonna come back and ask you a specific question too. Berkeley and Riley.
Well, I've watched films my whole life, but I recall one of my earliest memories being in the cinema watching the original Spider-Man. And in the opening credits, it finishes by saying directed by Sam Raimi. And I just remember thinking, what does this word directed mean? I didn't really know what it meant for a while, but every single time I got really into a movie, I remember seeing, all right, directed by, okay, that must mean something. And every Tuesday, my mum and I, after school, we would go to here at Video Easy, which is basically like Blockbuster, really, Australia's version of Blockbuster. Every Tuesday, we'd hire a movie, and for 11 weeks straight, I hired Inception. And there must have been a reason why I was hiring Inception for 11 weeks. And it was because I was so interested in the craftsmanship of making this film and looking into it all. It's sort of like, okay, directed by means sort of taking carriage of all of this craft and putting it onto the screen. So I knew from that moment then that directing is the thing I'd like to pursue. And also at the same time, when you hire a movie for 11 weeks, it sort of answers your own question. But that's it for me.
I mean, Jessica, you said a lot already, but my question for you, I want to get into some specific questions. Do you think growing up in the industry, because you grew up in you said your parents are well-known actors in Australia, how do you think that impacted you? And both ways, it could be negative and positive, but because you, despite some of the difficulties, you still chose that career path and created your own journey. But how were you impacted by being a child of famous actors, and how did that impact you to create your own path and still do something that's connected to what you grew up with?
That is such a great question, Diana. And like, I guess being the fact that I currently live in Los Angeles is a huge segue, because my parents were very Aussie icons, which is why all the Aussies in the room know them. And I had a big USA flag on my wall. And very much like Henry, I lived in movies. I would go to the video shop, and Riley as well. I would go to the video shop and come home almost every week with about 20 films. And because, my parents were actors, they were very busy. And so socializing definitely was very hard for me, which is why I talk a lot about my anxiety and stuff growing up and how I integrated, especially because, it's not normal to have famous parents. That's not a normal thing. So when you're going to school, people don't see you as the normal kid. So my life was living through movies. And although I always loved performing, I didn't think that I could tell you that I'm, at a different age in my life now. Let's just say it, I'm 40. It just crept up on you, I tell you. But when I turned 40, it's, as much as I've loved acting and when I was a kid and stuff, I definitely have developed a huge voice as a writer and a director, like many of these people in this room. And I think it's because something I find really amazing about telling a story from the words into the actual vision is something very different that I didn't understand as a kid, but now I understand. And that's probably why I'm so passionate about mentoring all of the filmmakers in the room. So my journey, whilst my parents were still very much, actors and they're very heavy in the acting scene, I think I've evolved into number one being I call myself an Oz-American because I've been here nearly 20 years, which is, my American family. David's my American family. Diana, you're my American family. And secondary to that, I say that I am, rather than saying I'm an actor, I say I am a storyteller. That's what I do. And that's my big, big passion, and helping others tell their stories.
Thank you so much. And individual question for you guys. Please forgive me, I'm getting over a cold, so I may stutter a bit. But Henry, how did you meet Ian? Because your film, again, guys, these films are so incredible. So what was it about Ian? Because there are many stories of activists that are out there. So what was it about Ian that made you decide, I'm going to tell his story? So I want to meet him. I want to come meet him. I'm like, how can I get to Zambia so I can meet Ian? But what made you decide to tell Ian's story? Yeah, what was that? What made you decide to tell Ian's story?
It was I was producing a program called Zambian Genius. We're featuring geniuses, you could call them geniuses, people that are trying to invent things. So would feature them and let them explain what they're trying to invent. And those people that are doing different things with challenges, but they're managing, would feature them and call them a genius. So we found one man who had, he was, I don't know how to put these words, correct me if I'm wrong. He was a person with a disability. Yes, he didn't have his his limbs, so he could just walk, he could crawl. He was just crawling, but he was a carpenter. So, and a lot of people gave him work jobs. He could create tables, beds, and he was very, very good. So when I went to cover him, I looked at him and I was amazed. A lot of people have got in Zambia, they've got this idea that if someone is with a disability, then they cannot do as much. So they tend to look at them in a certain way. But here's a man who is doing more than other people that consider themselves, whole. And he's there doing amazing things. So that gave me a whole new perspective. And I also have another background of my mother who is sick of bipolar. So I got to learn a bit more about mental issues. We had to be taught what this disease is and all that. And the condition, we had to learn how to treat that condition, how to live with such a person. Otherwise, it was a very difficult time in my life because I was just 12 when things just went different, and my mother was kind of like sick, and we didn't know what was happening. People had to bring people to come and pray, like a movie, people praying, people don't understand, and we are all depressed. My father almost left until we just said, okay, we have tried all we can. After that, let's go to the clinic. Then when we went to the clinic, and it was explained that no, actually, this is just a disease that can be treated and can be maintained, and you just have to know how to live with such a condition, how to treat it, and we are here. It just opened my eyes, and so I embarked on creating short documentaries called Tell to Tell. So as I was trying to create that, of course, I was trying to sponsor those by myself. I called in two people. I identified one man who was involved in an accident. So he was just fine all of his life. He was born okay. And then I think at age 18, he was involved in an accident. He can't walk, and his voice, he had a very big part. His voice, he can't even speak properly. But this guy tries to sing, and he actually has recorded some songs and sang. So I thought that was inspiring as well. So I documented him. I also asked around, and that's when my brother told me, oh, there's actually this guy, Ian Banda. That's when Ian Banda comes in now. So I was like, oh, okay, actually, I think I saw him because at the school where I was, I think I was his senior. And by the time I was coming, I left. So I think maybe I saw him once, but I didn't know him. Yes.
It's such
So
it's such a powerful, guys. I could probably this could be like a 5-hour conversation.
yeah, okay.
I do want to make sure we David, if you can give me a note in the time because I have no idea what time it is, and
Oh, definitely. We have about 30 minutes more.
because I'm having such a good
So
time right now. I'm gonna let's go to Romeo and Kylie. And just to find out a little bit more about positive powerful parents, both of you to share, and then Romeo specifically, how do you think your film is serving as example of advocacy? So if you could both share about positive parents, and Romeo specifically, how do you think your film is supporting the advocacy of positive powerful parents? So if you both, either one of you can go first, but I would just love to hear a little bit more. And what an amazing film, and how you did it is so amazing, with having all actors of all parents play both roles, and I thought that was really beautiful. So Kylie, maybe, but yeah, and whoever would like to go first.
Kylie, would you like to answer this question, please?
Sure, and then you can add a little bit. So, Positive Powerful Parents is a self-advocacy group here in Australia. We support parents that have gone through the child protection system. Most of the parents engaged with Positive Powerful Parents, unfortunately, don't have their children living at home with them. They've been removed. And so Positive Powerful Parents started 13 years ago by a parent who saw this issue or it happened to them, and then found out that they weren't the only parent to have a child removed. So in regards to the group, it's quite a large group, and most of the members had a little bit of input into the Compare the Parents short film. We have an ad here in Australia called Compare the Pair, but it's a little bit different. It's about insurance, and it's we've created something along the similar lines, but focusing on where parents may get discrimination from. So that's from the doctor at conception of when they find out they're pregnant. There's a longer film as well, which has more scenes. So we had to cut it short for the Focus on Ability Film Festival because it was a 5-minute film. But the parents are all actors. You're right, Diana. They really enjoyed being part of the film. Stories are shared, and it's actually about raising awareness that this is an issue that happens and it shouldn't be happening. Romeo, I'm not sure whether you'd like to share anything about yourself.
So as Kylie said, I have 4 kids. They're all in foster care. And bits of the scene are from different parents, but we've all got similar issues.
But Romeo, just thank you for sharing that. Thank you. That hasn't impacted me. I think that's what's so beautiful about filmmaking is it raises awareness that of things that I don't think people think about. And that's what was so beautiful and powerful about your film, and that's what impacted me so much. Actually, I love that you shared that you hadn't planned on acting with this your story, but yet you play a character, so you're acting as Ashley, as a character Ashley, but sharing your story, which I thought was love. I love the flower or sunflower. So how did you come up with that concept? Because that was so, and that was like my favorite part of the film. And so tell me about playing someone like you, and then also how you came up with that concept of the flower or sun.
When we were coming up with the concept of the film, I wanted it to focus on the disability that someone had, and I have ADHD, so that worked out. And it was going to be based around my ADHD, but I didn't know how exactly I was going to do that. So I came up with the concept of having a character represent that ADHD and just me being in it. And the design of the character, who my friend Jennifer Stoneham actually designed and animated it, is actually inspired by the Hidden Disabilities logo, which is a sunflower on a green background. Says like a little thing. And I thought it was really good. And I like sunflowers, so it worked out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was cute, it was great, I loved it. um, Stewart, your film was hilarious. So I want to know from you, because comedy is such a great way to be an advocacy. Also, so do you enjoy doing comedy, and how do you feel comedy can be a great advocacy tool when celebrating diversity of people with disabilities?
Hmm. I'd say yes, I do greatly enjoy doing comedy. I mean, I've mostly done theater so far, so getting that immediate feedback of having an audience laugh is incredibly powerful. I think that's true of comedy, as you said, as a advocacy tool. It's associated with something positive, as opposed to if you're doing something purely informational or informative, it can be quite dry.
Mhm.
So tying that in with comedy, uh, kind of it sticks in the mind more, I think.
I agree, and I also who came up with the concept, because I love the Bond, the James Bond vibes. Who came up with that? That was hilarious.
That was the woman who played Jane Bond also wrote the script. So that
Okay.
was
Wow. I mean, and I love that the car was just not, like I say, guys, I could do an hour on every one of your films because you know, they were awesome. Riley, for you dealt with such a sensitive subject, and children talking about the worst thing that can happen to a child, which is the loss of the parent. So how did you approach the family? What was your reason for wanting to do the film, and how did you approach the family and kind of navigate the narration without, with also the sensitivity of young children talking about a very, very difficult and painful subject?
This is a very good question. But I'm lucky with this one because the children in the family, they are my nieces and nephew. So there's that connection there, and I feel that there was that sort of trust and understanding. Because the event happened 4 years ago, I also consciously decided that I wouldn't get them wouldn't start asking them questions just straight away. I would let time go on so they could mature and think about what had happened. And then when the time felt right, which was this year, I would start asking them these questions. And I like to think I'm very involved in their life. So just this week I'm taking them out to the cinema 3 times, so forcing them into a hobby that I love, but I'm sure they love it too. But I feel that connection was there. But the reason why I wanted to make it was I saw my sister, who's Brandon's partner and the mother of the children. She was raising awareness in her own way through blogs, etc. My mum and dad were also raising awareness, and Brandon's family was also raising awareness. And I was thinking about how I could help on top of what they were doing. And I thought, well, my passion's through filmmaking. Maybe this is the approach I'll take. I'll make a documentary about it. I've never really seen a documentary about brain cancer before. And I got their blessing, which is the most important thing. And everything sort of just slowly unraveled until this point.
Yeah. But I think when it comes to being the uncle in the family, the fun uncle, anyone who knows me and sees my Facebook post, they're all 90% are about my nephews. So I totally understand the love for nieces and nephews. Being an aunt or uncle is just amazing. And what wonderfully courageous children, for them to share that. Even at a point, even for you, I just think it takes like courage to be open and loving and just share the story of losing their dad. And I really do hope they're all doing okay, because I know that's a tremendous loss. So how are they doing?
They're some of the most, like you said, courageous kids. So they're doing fantastic. And like I said before, they're seeing 3 movies this week. So that's perfect. Of course, they're doing great too. But no, they're very.
What is he gonna see?
We're going to check out the new. It's in a short timeline because of availability, and they wanted to see these movies. So I'm not forcing them to see 3 movies in a week. It's they, but we'll be seeing Wicked, the new Wallace and Gromit, and there's some early screenings of the new Paddington in Peru. So they're very, very excited, and I am too.
Well, like I said, there's a funk in the family, but that's awesome. All right, guys, I have another. David, how are we doing on time? David?
We have 15 minutes.
Okay, good. I think what I'm going to do is ask another general question. As I love the word artivist, because I think that activism and art put together. So as an artivist, and now after the BTV, what is your most important goal as an artivist? What is the change that you want to see? And what are you doing to take action toward making that change? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's start with ROMEO. Let's start with you. So as an artist and activist and advocate, how do you want to use film to see the changes that you want to see, especially for parents who have intellectual disabilities?
So we made the film so that we could show the discrimination and how it's been used, or it's been used a couple of times now for training for child protection workers. So it shows them how to work with a parent with a disability. And I can't.
That
KYLIE, anything else?
I think you did really well then, Romeo, that we're using the film to raise awareness. And I think the changes we want to make are to see that parents get a really fair go at being able to keep their family together and raise their children. We have PPP's done a lot of work with child protection in that we've created a charter of rights for parents and carers with a disability in Victoria. So it's an ongoing I guess awareness raising and working with the departments to keep families together.
Okay, thank you. But good to Stewart. How would you answer that question?
I would say that I guess I would just try and act as an example of what someone can do. I mean, I guess to explain, I've grown up with autism, so I'd say just being an example of to others with autism of what you can achieve, regardless of any kind of disability that you have, and that it's not necessarily going to stop you from achieving things that you want to achieve.
Thank you. Henry.
So for me, I would say is to inform and entertain and educate. So there are three things. And I feel there are some information gaps in our society and my country here. And I'm helping to bridge that gap by making these documentaries and film, because I also make film. It's not only documentary. Currently, I'm working on a film which I can't disclose much, but it's there's a disease called Konzo. Yes, I think that disease is there in Congo, and I think I've seen a family here in Zambia that has got that disease, and I think a lot of people do not know about that, and I want to use film. There's a feature film that I'm working on, which will be educating, informing, and entertaining to the audience. And then what I did to the big challenge is for them to access this content. How do they access these contents? And by doing so, I came up with a website called streamside.pro. This website is it's a streaming website, and I put content for free and paid, but most of the content that is there is for free. Some of it is just entertainment, but when I'm done with my projects, it's going to be more of information and education. Yes, so that's what I'm doing about it. I think that's the most challenge, accessibility. Yes.
Thank you. Riley, how about you?
I think similar to others, educating and informing is very crucial and very important when it comes to raising awareness. But I think when it comes to like the part of activism and what I hope people take out of my film is I just remember the day I got the phone call from my mum when she said that, Brandon's got tumors all over his brain. He's got brain cancer. I remember my first thought in my head, quite ignorantly, I guess, is what's that? Like, I didn't bother to think it was a thing. I never considered brain cancer for some weird reason, maybe just because there's so many cancers out there. And it was a shock. It was a shock moment. And then in the other sense as well, through myself, educating myself, I remember also, this was the moment where I also found out that cancer is also considered a disability in Australia as well. Again, through my own ignorance, it was probably something I never even considered to think about either. So I hope people have the same with my film. I hope people think the same way I did, in the sense that it opens their eyes to something that they maybe never bothered to consider, because the stats, especially behind brain cancer in Australia, and I'm sure around the world, are quite alarming in the sense that the cause is still unknown. Its 5-year survival rate has only increased a very minor 2% since 1986, from 20% to 22%. So just these statistics and just these feelings that make people's eye open. And from there, hopefully they can educate and inform themselves.
So you're the future, you're the next generation coming up. What are your, what do you hope to do as you get older, as a filmmaker, maybe as an actor? How do you want to use your talent and gifts to raise awareness?
Do you repeat that?
Yeah, you're as you get older, because you're still in high school, do you want to continue to do filmmaking? Do you want to continue to make films?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to continue making films.
Right, and how would you like to use your filmmaking to continue to raise awareness about disabilities and inclusion? How would you like to do that?
It's a good question.
It's okay to think about it, it's okay. Because you did it already with one film, so how would you like to continue?
I'd love to keep raising awareness on any disability. I hope that next year I can do Focus on Ability again, if it's possible. And I would love to raise awareness on disabilities and advocate myself for it, because it definitely needs to be talked about more.
Thank you. That was a beautiful answer, Ashley. That was great. Thank you. So Jeff, we'll let you be on home because you are the focus. You're so much a part of Focus on Disability. So personally and as an organization, how do you hope to continue to promote diversity, intersectionality, and that's what I loved about the film. There were intersectionality, people from different countries, different cultures, which shows the globalness of disability. So what would you like to continue to see happen?
I mean, obviously, education is at the forefront of everything that we do, but I think the major thing that comes with education is connection. And I think that there's something that unites everybody in this room is the fact that we're all connected in some way to disability. And I think that as a global message, if we realize this is a huge community of people that any one of us at any time can join. I think I've heard that all the time. And I think it's important that we can share different stories about those of us living in this community, and help other people connect to who we are as people and our lived experience. And I think that's the beautiful key part of what Focus does, and listening to all these different people that are here and why they joined, why they made a film, or what their film was about, or what inspires them. We're already doing that and connecting us from all over the world. Whether it be Zambia or United States or Australia, the fact that we're in this room, this one giant global community of people touched by the stories of people with disabilities, this is change. This is change. And, I want to see this continue to grow, get as many people involved as possible, friends, family. It's the best part about this is the opportunity we get to connect.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you. Are we at about time?
It's perfect timing, and I want to thank everybody here. Gorgeous work, gorgeous films. And Diana, thank you for being the host. Jessica, I love you and I love what you do. And like you said, we're extended family. And I'm so excited everybody on here now, I feel like is extended family. And I hope to work with you all. Um, Thank you, Lucy and Hope, for interpreting. And I'll throw it out to Diana for any last words.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's the holidays and Christmas and other holidays that come up. Kwanzaa, we just celebrated Hanukkah. But I think one thing is we had a new year, and New Year's always an opportunity to do something new. And what I love is that I'm reminded that disability is a global community. And I think sometimes, when we're in the United States, we forget that, but it really is a global community, and our issues are global. Our issues of exclusion are global. But I really do believe that, and the reason I'm an artist as well is I think the way to break down those barriers that connect, that divide us and build bridges that connect us through the power of storytelling. And each of you touched my heart with the stories you told today. And I'm big on giving virtual hugs. I know you don't know me very well, but I'm giving you all a great virtual hug. And thank you so much for sharing your heart and your art and these beautiful films. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do next. Happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, Merry New Year. Love you all. Thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Hey, and everybody who's on the panel, on the count of three, what are we gonna say for our screenshot?
Oh, well, I think we should say focus on ability, shouldn't we?
Yes.
I feel like that.
I think that's perfect. Okay, on the count of three, focus on ability. 1, 2, 3.
Focus on
ability.
I love it.
In late 2017, we heard about the Focus on Ability Short Film Festival, which gave people with a disability an amazing opportunity, a platform to showcase their ability.
We entered for the first time in 2018 and had a blast making our very first short film. We also decided to head to Sydney for the awards night. We didn't know what to expect, but boy were we overwhelmed by the experience.
We got to walk a red carpet for the first time and meet some amazing people. We learned that you didn't need to be a finalist to be recognised and acknowledged.
By the end of the night, we had realised that we were a part of something truly special.
Over the years, the Focus on Ability Short Film Festival has empowered us. It has given us a voice, the opportunity to tell our stories, and most of all, it has shaped the direction of our service.
With hard work and dedication, we are now a filmmaking program.
We have worked on a Bollywood feature film,
music videos,
commercials,
and continue to write, create, and inspire.
And we owe it all to the Focus on Ability Short Film Festival.
Focus on ability.
Hey, thank you guys, Luke and Luke. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Merry Christmas, guys.
Thank you all so much for coming to Meet the Biz. You're incredible. And this is such an inspiring group. If you have a film, get it out there. Connect with Focus on Ability because they are one of the best out there. They truly are. And it's you connect with one of these days. I'm going to get out to Australia. I have to do that. So thank you all.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Meet the Biz for PSW. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Freestyle with Tom. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you guys for your time.